Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video I am talking about Odd Thomas. So this is a 2013 horror comedy? I say that with a question mark. Feels like it was meant to be a comedy, but man does this movie get sad at points. But the film follows the story of a character named Odd Thomas, who is actually played by Antoine Yelch, and he is a 20-something-year-old that can see dead people. Now, this is a film that has been suggested to me on Hulu several times. That is where I watched it, so apologize if you are outside of the US. I'm not sure where else you might be able to watch it. Maybe Amazon or Netflix. And like I said, it's been suggested to me several times, and I finally decided to give this one a chance, and I'm really glad I did. I really liked this film. It is really good. Like I said, it's meant to be like a horror comedy, and it's definitely really funny at times, but it's, again, as I mentioned, really sad at parts because the way the film ends, which we'll get to. But also, watching this film that is about a character that sees dead people and knowing that the lead actor in the film died in a very tragic way definitely gives a different vibe when you're watching the film than it would have if I didn't know that or had seen it prior to his death. Especially in the beginning of the film when we meet our first dead character. It is this young girl who is brutally killed by just one of the men that live in the small town. She finds him and takes him to his killer, and after he's able to capture the killer and turn him over to the police, and the chief of police officer is actually played by Willem Dafoe, which is really cool, and they have this understanding relationship. He's one of the few people that know about Odd's abilities aside from his girlfriend Stormy. So he's able to kind of have that relationship and able to capture these people that have done bad things. And so he does that for this young girl, and then he's sitting there talking to her, giving her this, apology speech about how sorry he is that her life was cut so short, and that she's now, as he believes, in a better place. And that just really hit hard when you're watching the film. It was just like, it just had like a whole nother feeling that was just really, really sad. But also heartwarming in a sense as well. The film definitely has like a lot of heartwarming moments, but the main plot of the film is following Odd as he discovers that there's going to be this giant massacre, and he has to figure out who's all connected to that, how it's gonna happen, and how he can prevent it. And the way that he finds that out is because there are these creatures that, again, only he can see, that they don't predict or really cause death necessarily. They are just attracted to it. They feed on it, so to speak. And so whenever there is going to be some sort of very brutal death, it has to be very brutal and dramatic for these creatures to really show up. He even mentions that the young girl's death wasn't brutal enough for them, so this has to be a really big deal. And it's not just one creature that attaches themselves to this particular character, Bob, but it is a ton of these, and they build up more so throughout the film. And every aspect of this film is really cool. I did do a short little Letterboxd review, and I kind of said that it was a little bit like Sixth Sense meets Dead Like Me, which if you have not seen that show, highly, highly suggest it. But it's basically about these people, this group of people who are reapers. They die, and then they are stuck on Earth, help people pass over into the next life. It's a really fucking good show. Didn't have a lot of seasons, unfortunately. Did have a short little movie that they did as well, so I highly suggest checking that out. But it's like a combination of those, and then a little bit kind of Final Destination at times, because Odd does also have visions. He has a lot of abilities kind of attached to his main ability of being able to see dead people. And it's a really, really good film. I kind of, I guess, expected it to be a little bit cheesy, which is maybe why I put off watching it. But I mean, it's like a high quality shot film. It's not like B-movie style or anything. And I mean, like I said, it's got Willem Dafoe in it. Has a lot of other great people. It's got the guy that plays Jill's boyfriend in Scream 4, who is also in Younger. He is in this as well. He plays a police officer. And I don't want to give away everything because I definitely think it is worth checking out. The comedy in it's really good. I will say it is one of those films that kind of does that thing where the characters talk a little dramatically. They're kind of like, people don't really talk to each other like that, but not done in like a bad way. Like sometimes there's movies I've watched and have reviewed where I'm like, nobody interacts like that with each other. Like it's so bad, but it's more of like, I guess kind of Juno style, if you've seen that film, where it's just like inside jokes and like goofy lingo and stuff. That's really where the film kind of leans. And like in Juno, it's done really well. It's about these people live in a small town and they live a weird life, especially Odd in particular. But I am going to get a little into spoilers because I want to talk about the ending of this film. So I'm going to put a little spoiler warning. You can skip ahead if you want. At kind of the climax of the film, in the event that Odd is trying to prevent, which is this massacre taking place at their local mall, his girlfriend gets caught in the crossfire, and at first she's shown as like coming out and being okay, and we're all like, whew. Odd's like, whew, has that same feeling. It's like, okay, she's fine, she's safe. It goes to the end, they're moving together, they're in love and having a happy life, and I was like in my feels, and I was like, yay, good for them, like, cause you just love this couple. They're so cute, they're so perfect, so fucking adorable. And then we come to find out that she's been dead the entire time. Not like the entire time of the movie, but since her being caught in the crossfire, she actually died. But in that moment, Odd had all this stuff going on and he was still trying to prevent all these other events. He's still trying to prevent things so he couldn't bring himself to see her as being dead. And so, because he didn't see her that way, we didn't either. And then at the end of the film, he does realize that she is. It's brought to his attention. And so then we know that she is, and I just cried. I lost it. And I'm crying again. It's so heartbreaking because it's like this film does such a good job of making you like love these characters, and they're all so wonderful, and then they do that, and I was like, I should have seen that shit coming. Like the entire film, he can see dead people. Like I should have seen that shit coming, and I didn't, and I was devastated, and I was mad, and the ending of this movie made me very, very sad. But Odd goes on to, you know, live his life and do things, but yeah, this film, but yeah, I had to get my feelings about the ending out. So for those of you who have seen the film, definitely kind of let me know your thoughts on it. If you haven't checked this one out, please do. It's really, really good. I highly, highly suggest checking it out. So again, if you have seen this one, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. If you did enjoy this, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more horror-related content, and I'll see you guys again later with another video. Bye!